Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today. I'm Lisa Kaye with Promise Resource Network. Wellness and making our bed. Have you thought about it? Well, I did. Just for today, can we think about just starting our day, making our bed? There's some research behind this and some stuff that I found that I want to share with you this morning. Why make our bed every morning? Why maintain a clean, organized living space or workspace, right? Why? Just for today, can we say because we are going to figure out a different way, a very simple way of demonstrating self love? Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today. I hope you'll stay with me. Might be a weird title and topic, but I promise you is well worth the stay for the next 20, 30 minutes to hear about it. And we're going to figure out what this is all about. And I so enjoyed looking into this and reading about it and found all kind of neat things about this. So I'm going to share it with you today for our recovery. I'm on the family side of the disease of addiction. I'm also been through a lot of traumas and different things that have just really changed my worldview. And there are days that I need something simple, something tried and true, evidence based that other people can testify about. And I have found that thing this morning. I found many things over the years in my recovery, but this I thought was genius. And at least for me, you may already be doing this and can testify to it. So this morning, let me know you're out there. Let me know what you think about this. But just for today, can we think about this thing about wellness? You know, whether you're in recovery from addiction, mental health, those kind of things. Doesn't matter. You know, we need to figure out what helps us stay well. Wellness and making our beds. So just for today, stay on with me. Good morning, Aaron Perna. Good to see you this morning. Eric, good morning, everyone. Let me know you are out there. So what's this about? Keeping our bed made in the morning, our space in our home clean, our workspace clean and organized. Why is this such a big deal? Why? Because here's the deal. It is a very simple, but sometimes very hard to do task that we can do that, number one, demonstrates self love, right? You may think you're doing it to impress your guest or you've got people coming over to your office, but you have to admit there's something about coming home. Good morning, Kim Porter, and walking into your bedroom and seeing your bed neatly made, things picked up. You walk into your kitchen to get something to drink or to prepare dinner, and your countertops are neat, they're clean, or whatever. Or you come into the office, you've got a busy day ahead of you, reports due, people to see, places to go, right? And you walk in and you have spent 5 minutes before you left that afternoon before to put things where they went. You put your files up, you cleaned off your desk, you threw away papers and things that you had accumulated that you didn't need anymore. So you actually get to start fresh. You don't have to come in and kind of declutter from yesterday. Because when we went to bed last night, we were supposed to end that day, not drag it with us. How many of you drag yesterday with you in today? Okay, we all have, right? But there's some freedom and some healing, guys, with this whole idea of starting your day with making your bed. And it kind of there's research behind this. Do you hear me? So here we go. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know you're out there. And if you feel led to, share this. All right. If you feel like there's people on your page that your friends and family who might need to hear this, share it. If you don't, I don't care. It doesn't matter. You know, you do what you need to do. It's your page. You're on here this morning or you come on later, right? So you make up your mind. But I hope you find value in this message, even if it's just for today. Can we, just for today, thinking about before you head out, Aaron Perna, before you head out, Cedric Coit, before you head out, Kim Porter, making your bed, picking up the toys, right? Just as you walk through on your way out, just neatening and tidying? Can we take a few extra minutes this morning to start our day out in a different way? If you hadn't already been doing this, but if you have, I've got some proof to show just how brilliant you really are in your own recovery, and you didn't even know it. All right. An act of self love that can boost your mood and your spirit. The simple act of making your bed. It can set your tone for how your day will go. Just for today, get up and make that bed before you leave today. That's your challenge. That's all I'm asking you to do. You're going to hear some other things, but all I'm simply asking you to do, if you don't already, before you leave today, make your bed. Throw you some extra little pillows up there, fluff it up. If you don't like your bed, if you don't like your covers, figure out a neat way with some extra pillows, some blankets that you already have to freshen it up, make it look a little different. Bring some pops of color. I don't care. Get creative. I'm not telling you to go out and buy nothing because, bedding is expensive. You got stuff right around your house that you can spruce up some stuff with. Just make it slightly different. But the main goal is to make it up, right? All right. For me, this helps me go into my day with a clear mind. When I don't make up my bed, this is me talking. When I don't, I was raised by a military person, a Marine, and making the bed and putting away the dishes before I went to school or before I went to bed was top priority, or I got myself in a lot of trouble. And that was early on. I remember getting in trouble at 6 years old for not doing these tasks. And probably got in trouble even younger than that. But, usually we don't have memory until we're about 5. So I'm sure at 4, I was probably doing the same thing. Those of you who are raised by military dads or moms, whew, they are something else. But there is something to be said about that. And here we go. But it really does help me clear my mind. And here's the big thing. Good morning, Roberta. Glad you got on. Here's the big thing about it. When you come back home to a bed being made, your house being tidied up before you left, there's a strong sense of relief. When you've had a bad day at work, bad day at school, whatever has gone on, trauma, just work, whatever, there is a sense of relief knowing when you walk in your home. Here comes my dog. Sorry, y'all. Life happens, right? And they will mess up a bed, right? So there's some relief coming home to know that you're going to come home and your bed's made. You don't have to make it up to get in it. And you don't have to do a lot of things because you've tidied it up. So when you come in, your eyes are going to be like, wow, this is awesome, right? All right. Good morning, Miss Courtney. Glad to see you're on. Good morning. Come on, Hope. Let's go. My Chihuahua. She rules the roost, right? One of my dreams, guys, and I have said this to some coworkers, and they understood, because I had lots of kids, and I had them young, and I had 2 boys, very rambunctious, that, bless their little hearts, they just got into everything, and they were messy Marvins is what I called them. And I always said, one of these days, I'm going to get to enjoy coming home to my home the way I left it. Not the way they left it, but the way I left it. And I always knew that being able to come in with a clean, fresh bed, house was going to do something for me. And it was like a top goal to be able to have this experience consistently, right? So I knew there was something about this even back then when I was young and didn't even know how to spell recovery, much less be in it. All right. My Chihuahua's getting on my nerves, so I'm going to shut the door because I'm going to show her better than I can tell her. All right. My deep dive into this idea that cleaning and organization have a profound effect on your mental health, your mental wellness. It explained that keeping work areas tight and organized can help achieve a clearer mind while helping overall your productivity. When there is clutter on my desk and in my area, I feel as I have a cluttered mind. Like I don't even know where to start. Like I can't I can't focus on what I need to be doing because I'm looking around at all this clutter on my desk. There really is a negative impact when we constantly, not occasionally, but constantly have clutter and mess around us at home, in our cars. Ooh, boy, did that preach to me. And at home. Clutter may contribute, and there is research to this, guys. And if you don't believe me, go research it yourself, right? I'm just here to scratch the surface for you this morning, but I promise you, I read the research and I was like blown away. I knew that this helped made me feel better, but I had no idea that universities, big universities, did research on this topic about making your bed, decluttering your home, decluttering your office, your desk, that there is a negative impact on people when this is a consistent thing in their life, clutter and mess. It can contribute to depression. It can lead to decreased focus. So those of us who are have been diagnosed formally or informally about our attention spans, when we live in a cluttered area or work in a cluttered area, our focus goes downhill. We can stay confused and have tension, right? There was a study by Princeton University researchers discovered that clutter can make it difficult to focus on particular tasks. In some ways, clutter and mess is linked to negative emotions like confusion, tension, and irritability. While an organized home, listen, tends to produce more positive emotions like calmness and a sense of well being. To the brain, all right, guys, you brainiacs, listen up. To the brain, clutter represents unfinished business. So it's hard to move on to the next thing when you walk in and you got clutter from the day before. It's hard to stay focused on tasks when you get home, when you walk into an unmade bed and clutter all over the place. Research behind this just for today. Can you consider making at least starting your day out today with making your bed, right? If you're not already. So our brain sees this clutter as unfinished business, and this lack of completeness can be highly stressful for some people. This fact is especially true when people have significant concerns pressing in their lives. I know for me, I have certain parts of my life, my family, that is completely out of control, but it's very stressful. As you well know, those of you who come on and follow me, you know that I am very open about my recovery and what I'm currently going through. The first love of my life, my firstborn son, is in prison right now for his disease of addiction. The behaviors and the unwellness and the unmanageability of his life, he is now in prison. I know that when this kind of thing is going on in my life, and I've been walking with this young man for the last 15 years of his life in his heroin meth addiction and his run in with law enforcement, not only in North Carolina, but South Carolina and multiple counties. He's cute as a button, y'all. He really is. And he's precious. And he's the most amazing individual. Everybody that is in addiction is, right? But this disease, I hate it. But guess what? This is my baby. This is the love, the first love of my life. And those of you who really, really know me, you know how much my children mean to me. And I am still working on my recovery from codependency. I messed all that up trying to walk with this young man and trying to be in control. So when my stress level has been up this past year because my love is locked away in South Carolina and I have not seen him and hopefully can see him soon, right? So I know when I get organized and I do things like cleaning and making sure, I never thought about that was like a really big hug to myself and a really big self-love to myself just by making up my bed. But it's just that simple. And I got proof. I got proof. I knew it made me feel better, but I didn't know researchers took the time to research making your bed and decluttering your office. But they did. So if you're a person that does this and you think, yeah, I always feel better after that, guess what? You are genius. You are genius. Some of us didn't know. So that's what we're here just for today. Can you make your bed today? Let's see why. One of the biggest things, it can also help us bring anxiety down and our stress down. By cleaning, it says organizing reduces the clutter. People are able to take control over their environment. I know when I feel like my life is completely out of control, I know that there are certain things my body just wants to go do. And now I understand why. It's about controlling my environment. When I am stressed here in my homestead here in Chester, South Carolina, there's a reason for that. I'm not going into that, but I understand even deeper now just because I did this deep dive into this. I have felt like for a long time I didn't have control of my environment, the very environment I pay the mortgage on. Some of you might can relate to that, right? I'm just being real. I'm past Karen. I'm just being real. This opened up my eyes so much about why I'm struggling and why I have some resentment and some attitude. And now I even know why even deeper. It's not that I'm just, wanting to be mean or whatever. There is this thing in me that I don't feel like I have control over this environment, right? So when I come in and I clean and I do certain things, it helps me feel like I've got control. I drug in the other day from York and I started digging in my gardens, my recovery gardens. And I thought, why am I doing this? I don't even stay here that much right now because I'm helping my parents in York. But I thought, now I understand why I stood out there for 2 hours and pulled weeds and tried to make things it helped me feel like I was better in control of my environment. There you go. So there's something to this, guys. It also helps create a very relaxing environment that helps me focus better on more pressing issues. So when I walk into my office at Promise Resource Network and I have a clean desk and I don't have papers everywhere, right? Then I can kind of sit down and start focusing on the most important matters at hand, right? Instead of going, man, I got to clean this desk. I can't even think. What in the world is this stuff? What is that stuff? You know what I'm talking about. Benefits. There's plenty of benefits from cleaning and decluttering your home and office. Helps you gain a sense of control. We've already talked about that. And engage your mind in a repetitive activity that can have a calming effect. Have you ever said, I am so stressed, I just wish I could just sit and count widgets all day long at work? Or you actually go do something that's very repetitive because you don't have to think about it, right? And it really helps calm. Sometimes, and so cleaning has been proven that this is a kind of repetitive type thing. Vacuuming, you don't have to think hard to vacuum, clean a bathroom. It's just kind of repetitive work, right? But it can bring our mood up, calm our spirits down a little bit, and help us just feel better because it just works, right? It also helps us feeling like we have accomplished something. Making my bed this morning before I walk out of here, I may come home today and feel like that I screwed up at every turn today. I was off my game. I was not able to come up with the right help for people at PRN. I let my staff down. I may come in just like that. But that bed or the decluttering of an area can help me feel like that I have accomplished something today that could maybe lift my mood, that I could sit and think, yeah, You did mess up a few times today, but there were some moments today that you were on point. And even if you feel like you failed at something, you really didn't. It was a learning experience because, Lisa, you know that self talk, right? You know that every day you walk in that building, that the only reason that you're showing up is because you truly, truly believe in the mission and you truly, truly want to be there for the right reason. So your intent is good, but you're human and you're going to make mistakes, right? We all do. But making up a bed can help us start thinking more positively about our day when we come home, especially if it's one of those bad days, right? We know that a clean environment can help us with our health. Those of you who suffer from allergies know right now that the air outside is not healthy to breathe with all the pollen. I sound like my voice is lowered 2 octaves from all this pollen that I breathed in yesterday and it was 2 days ago, and then yesterday, being outside working in the garden. Should have had a mask on. Ugh. Anyway, but we know a clean environment can help us with our physical health, gain control of our environment, improve our mood, increase your focus. There is evidence around this, guys. Can help you be less irritable because you can come in and start the task at hand. Those of you who know that you have to run home after work and start dinner for your children and whoever, you know good and well that when you come home and dishes still in the sink and all the stuff over the counter, that that's all you can focus on. That's been my experience. I don't know about you. That's all I can see. And then my kids would do something or be kids, and next thing I know, I'm yelling and screaming at them because now I'm irritated because I got to wash dishes before I can mess them up again. And I'm screaming at the kids. And it just sets the tone for the whole night. So just for today, can you do something? Spend 5 extra minutes this morning before you head out consistently. And if you already headed to work, you can start this tomorrow before you head out. So when you come home, you can get the benefit of knowing that you achieved that. You can start, you got a clean slate, you got a clean whatever, so you can have a better night that increases your wellness. It all starts with making that bed. Just for today, I hope you can't get this out of your head today. My wellness can really, really start with making a bed. Just for today, can you give it a try? I'm going to read, before we close, I'm going to read to you. Some of you have heard it. I'm just going to read a part of it. It's longer than this, but it really drives home my point. I'm going to end with a little bit out of my recovery material that led me to dive into this. And then we're going to go about our day because I got to get Charlotte. So this was called Make Your Bed. This was a speech that was delivered at a commencement address to the graduates of the University of Texas at Austin on May 17th, 2014. And many of you heard it. It was delivered by Admiral William H. McRaven, excuse me. So this is just a blurb out of it, but I've got it right here, word for word, and I want to read it to you. So listen up. I have been a Navy SEAL for 36 years. But it all began when I left UT, University of Texas, for basic SEAL training in Coronado, California. Basic SEAL training, y'all know what a SEAL is in the military. That's the tough, you know what they've done, right? Is 6 months of long, torturous runs in the soft sand, midnight swims in the cold water off San Diego, obstacle courses, unending calisthenics, days without sleep, and always being cold, wet, and miserable. It is 6 months of being consistently harassed by professionally trained warriors who seek to find the weak of mind and body and eliminate them from ever becoming a Navy SEAL. But the training also seeks to find those students who can lead in an environment of constant stress, chaos, failure, and hardships. To me, basic SEAL training was a lifetime of challenges crammed into 6 months. So, here are the 10 lessons. I'm not going to read all 10 of them, but this is how he starts it. So, here are the 10 lessons I learned from basic SEAL training that hopefully will be of value to you as you move forward in your life. Every morning in basic SEAL training, my instructors, who at the time were all Vietnam veterans, would show up in my barrack room, and the first thing they would inspect was my bed. Good morning, Christopher. If you did it right, the corners would be square, the covers pulled tight, the pillow centered just under the headboard, and the extra blanket folded neatly at the foot of the rack. That's Navy talk for bed, he says. It was a simple task, mundane at best, but every morning we were required to make our bed to perfection. It seemed a little ridiculous at the time, particularly in light of the fact that we're aspiring to be real warriors, tough, battle-hardened SEALs. But the wisdom of this simple act has been proven to me many times over. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task and another and another. By the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you will never do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. Wow. What powerful words that this Navy SEAL gave to the graduates in 2014, right? Everything that he could have talked to them about becoming a Navy SEAL. He gave them 10 lessons, but this was his first one, is to make his bed, and the emphasis that the military puts on it. A lot of folks think it's about control, the military trying to control you. It's really not. As we have researched it, and as this amazing individual talked about in his own Navy SEAL training and what it really means, we know that making our bed has so much more value than we ever imagined in our wellness. Just for today, can you make up your bed? I'm going to read to you a few things from what started this journey for me, researching this, and see what you got to say, and then we're going to head off. Aaron says, we got some more comments up here. Roberta loves gardening. Oh, okay. Stephanie, good morning, Stephanie. Before maddening, yeah, making up that bed. Aaron says, yep, make my bed and clean my sink. It's maddening, the constant cleaning we need to do. It's maddening, but it's healing. That's what this research tells us, right? Because it helps us control our environment. Exactly. Sometimes we have to clean more than others, especially if we got little children or it's spring cleaning time or whatever. But there is research and proof, and I've given you a tidbit of it this morning that says starting out making your bed, doing that tidying up, cleaning up has a profound effect on your mental health, wellness, and how you start your day and how you end your day. So if you don't believe me, I dare you to try it. Give it a week. See if it doesn't make a difference in your life. Go research it. Don't take my word for it. Google it. You'll see it for yourself. It's pretty amazing how much money, time, and effort has gone into research this subject. So there's something about it. Good morning, Christopher. I love you too. Badass in the house. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, Roberta said nurses' corners. Those corners. I never could get that quite right. All right, guys, let's end today with just for today from my reading. Just going to give you a little bit, and we're going to close up. Most of us have spent far too much time feeling badly about who we are and what we have done outside of our wellness. Amen, right? We have spent far too much. When I read this, I had to sit and think a minute. Wow, yeah, I really have, and still can do that. I can still do that. We may have been harshly criticized by others. I know I was in my recovery for codependency. I was criticized. I was damned if I did and damned if I don't around my child that has had addiction, strong addiction for the last 15 years. If I did certain things, people said I shouldn't have done it. And if I didn't do things, people said, oh, how could you let him be homeless? Oh, but Jesus, I just couldn't get a break. So yes, I was harshly criticized by others. Or we may have simply lost perspective and become overly hard on ourselves. Yep, sure did. Today, we have an opportunity to stop that kind of self-destructive thinking. Isn't it about time we allowed ourselves to feel good about ourselves? Just for today, this is next level recovery. You may think making your bed is simple, but I'm telling you, it's not. Believing in it, not just doing it because you just are doing it, but doing it, being mindful that when you're making that bed, enjoying it, taking time to tuck those corners, put those pillows up. There is science behind this, guys. It is next level recovery. If you don't believe it, go read it. Think about 7 days a week. How many times of that week do you make up your bed? Do you start your daily task with what this admiral says that in his Navy SEAL training, that was the first task that 6-month-long training aimed to teach him? That one task leads to another task that leads to another task. And all of this, guys, leads us down a most beautiful journey of healing that can increase our wellness and our walk. Today's all we got. So make up that bed before you leave. So with practice, we learn to treat ourselves with gentleness and compassion. Self-love, making up your bed, tidying up your workspace before you leave to go home is self-love, is self-care. Have you ever listed that on your self-care list? You lister people. When people say, yeah, what do you do for self-care, Lisa? Does anybody say, I make my bed? Well, guess what? You have the knowledge now. And I dare you to list that as your first thing that you do each and every day, to say, I love you, Lisa. I love you, Aaron. I love you, Roberta, Christopher, right? I dare you, add that to your recovery story and see the looks you get. It will open up doors for you to talk about simple things that people can do that uplift their spirits. Going to therapy, going to all kind of things people will do, and they get stressed out, right? When they get up out of this thing every day, that if they would just turn around and make it, could very much help them set their day in recovery, set their day into wellness. And nobody ever told you, nobody ever thought about it. So just for today, can we add making our bed to our self-care, self-wellness, and a part of our recovery story? We all have many admirable qualities, and we owe it to ourselves to let them shine. So just for today, you've got wonderful qualities. You are a terrific human being. You may not feel like it. So turn around before you go out that door. Or if you're listening to this later, make this your first task before you head out tomorrow to make your bed. So you can start the shine. You can walk out of your home, your apartment, wherever you're at, feeling like you have started your day like a Navy SEAL starts his, right? Most of us have high respect for Navy SEALs, their toughness. They can withstand all kind of things. But did you hear that? Out of all the lessons this admiral learned, the very first one he gave was making up the bed. So, can you treat your recovery like a Navy SEAL would? Make up that bed, start it. Be intentional about loving you by making that bed, tidying up your sink, your workspace. Just for today, add that to your journey each and every day and see if it doesn't help. There's research behind it. All right, I'm going to see what you guys got to say, and we're going to wrap this thing up, guys. Okay. Christopher says, I did good to make it to the coffee pot in the morning. Well, Christopher, I challenge you, Badass Incorporated. You can do this. As your coffee is brewing, run back in there and make up your bed. Your wife will be like, whoa, look at my man. Or clean up your area. The bed is kind of a metaphor of what you could do. But yeah, it's just to get us thinking, right? So maybe, Chris, you don't have to make up your bed. Your wife does. Maybe she's on it before you can even think about it. But there are things, our workspace at work, maybe you got a shop, you got things at your home that if those things are neat and tidy, you definitely feel better about yourself. So, Christopher, I challenge you, come up with that thing that you're going to do each and every day before you head out. So when you come home, it's ready for you, right? So there's healing, there's wellness with making up our bed. Your bed may be something totally different that it represents in your life. It may not be the bed, but just for today, what is that thing, right? So Stephanie says, I walk a mile outdoors first thing. Making that a habit had saved my life. The bed comes after that, LOL. I always walk. Some days I don't make up the bed. Well, Stephanie, I'm so proud of you for walking. That's good. That is really good. So, Stephanie, progress, not perfection. You just said, hey, this is what I try to add to my day, but sometimes it doesn't happen. Well, guess what? We're human, and sometimes it just don't happen. But just for today, can we make it a priority? Can we take it more seriously about starting with our bed, or starting with tidying up our sink or our workspace? Whatever that represents for you. Doesn't necessarily have to be the bed. We can think much deeper than that, right? Just for today, let's think about it. This is next level recovery, I think. And those of you who are on this morning, I hope you see the value in this and try it. I dare you. If you don't believe me, like I said, go research it for yourself. There is more things out there. Just dive into from pristine universities who have dug into the research of this very thing and hooking it to better wellness, right? So just for today, start out with your bed. Be a Navy SEAL about your bed or your workspace or both, just for today. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. I hope you'll share this on your social media. Friday, PRN will be closed, so we won't be having classes as observant for Good Friday. And so I myself will be taking some time to reflect in my own spiritual walk and where I stand, and some rest time. So I will see you next Monday. We'll all be back on. So for just for today. So I hope that you will consider adding this to your recovery journey. Make your bed. Start your wellness out each and every day with one task that will lead to another, to another, to another, just for today. All right. Guys, I love you. Heading to Charlotte. Hope to see all of you there. Bye.